Hello, Y10. Welcome to your first lesson on a brand new topic. Before we do that, though, we want to look back a little bit and do a little bit of retrieval practice. Answer these 9 questions. I'd like you to answer as many as you can, really all of them. Write something down, even if you're not 100% sure, even if you only know part of the answer, write it down, and then let's build on that prior knowledge and see if it's correct or not on the next slide. So 10 minutes to do that. Pause the video now, and we'll move on. Fantastic. Good job. Could you please double check your answers here? Have a look through and physically correct anything that is incorrect. Cross it out, rewrite it, add to it, whatever you need to do. Make sure you do that. 5 minutes to do that. Pause the video now. Okay, so I said it was a new topic. Could you please copy at the top of a brand new page, paper 2, section C, the challenge of resource management. So to remind you, there are 3 papers in the geography specification. Paper 2 has 3 sections, section A, B, and C. So this, if you choose to do paper 2 in the order it's written in, this will be the last section you complete, section C, the challenge of resource management. And if you look at the bullet points in this topic, we will look at the challenges of managing resources around the world, focusing on food, energy, and water. So there are many more resources, but those are the 3 most basic that we are going to focus on. And this will enable you to answer question 3 in paper 2. Then we'll move on to focusing on just energy, which will enable you to answer question 6. Where are the other questions? Well, question 1 and 2 you will be answering. So you will have answered question 1 and 2. They're different topics to this. Question 3 will then be the challenge of resource management. And question 6 is on energy. So 4 and 5 are food and water focuses. We're not focusing on those 2. We will come across those 2 at the start here, but we're not focusing on them then. So essentially everything we teach you is what you need to revise. Anything you see in revision guides that focuses in on food and water greater than we do here, that is something that you absolutely don't need to do because you shouldn't be answering those sections. But hey, don't worry about that particularly. We'll make this clear when we're back at school. We can actually see some papers. For now, keep up with your lessons, keep going with this, and we'll all be fine. So anyway, copy that title out at the top of a brand new page, and we'll move on to this specific first lesson in that topic. Pause now. Okay, and that first lesson is titled, What are the significance of resources to economic and social well-being? We're going to break that title down in a minute and check that we understand what it means. But if you could copy that with the date, read through the objectives, and also copy that key idea. So copy that title, leave a line, and then write key idea, food, water, and energy are fundamental to human development. They are necessary. They are really important to human development. 2 things to copy there. Pause now and we'll move on. Okay, so if you could leave another line and jot this down for me, please. A resource is a supply of something that has a value or purpose. And as you know, we're going to talk about water, food, and energy, but it could be anything that fits that definition. So copy that definition down for me, please. Pause now. Next one. Significance, another word in the title. This is how important something is. So we're looking at how important those resources are. And that might seem like common sense, why food and water especially are important. And yes, you're absolutely right. Of course, they're vital to survival. But we're going to go into a little bit more depth in this lesson than just that. So copy this. Significance is how important something is. Okay, and the final key term we're going to look at is sorry, not the final, the penultimate key term is economic well-being, a personal family's standard of living, how much wealth they can access. Standard of living is a key term you came across last year in the development gap topic, the idea of wealth and how much wealth you have. So jot that down and we'll move on to the last key term. Pause now. And finally, we've got the idea of social well-being, how high or low somebody's quality of life is. Another term from the development gap, their general well-being, more than just money. We're talking here health, education, and anything else that can make someone's life good or bad, essentially. So pause here and copy that down. Okay, I'd like you to read through each resource on page 256 and 7 in the textbook, and then complete the table on the next slide. Now, the questions on this slide are going to help you to do that. So you're going to need to kind of jump backwards and forwards, wait for the next slide to come up, copy it down, and then rewind a little bit to this in order to get some hints and some questions and some ideas. And then finally, I'm going to show you some answers on the next slide. So here we go to the next slide. There we go. So copy this table down and then flick back to the last slide to get those questions. Pause now and rewind. Okay, so here are some answers you may have written. I'm not going to read through all of those. I'm sure you can do that perfectly well. Give it a read and add anything that you think you may have missed to your notes, to your table, to your answers. Pause now and do that. Okay, final part of this lesson. I'd like you to draw 2 decision lines in your book and place each resource where you think it should go. So for example, at the top here, I've drawn my economic well-being line. You can see at the bottom. I think that water actually has a very low impact on economic well-being, let's say. So I'm going to put that there, cross on it, and I'm going to write in much neater handwriting than I can do there, water. I think that energy is going to go there, and I'm going to write energy, and I think that food goes there. I think that on social well-being, actually, energy goes here, and so on. You get the idea by now. You're putting crosses and words on this line, but then the most important bit is then justifying that, justifying why you've chosen that in a paragraph or 2. Do that. This is the kind of task that would be fantastic to email to your teacher. That paragraph, the line itself, don't just email that. It's not that interesting. What's really interesting is seeing why you think that they are so important. And go back and use arguments that you've learned today. Use ideas that you've learned from that table, from all of those points. Once you've done that, that is the end of this lesson. This should take you a good 10 minutes, if not more, 10 to 20, I would say, minutes to do this task. You should have plenty of time left. Get cracking at that. Let me know if you need any help. Send work to us. That would be fantastic. And stay safe, keep well, and I'll speak to you soon. Goodbye.